And welcome to Chartwise Women. This is Ellen McGonagle with Erin Swenlin, brought to you each and every Thursday afternoon. And this is where we bring our wealth of wisdom to you. And we're very excited about today's topic. We have lots to cover. Erin, how are you today?
I'm doing quite well. We finally got some cool weather. That's nice, and not nearly as much smoke.
And yes, clear and nice weather. It's just a thing of beauty, I have to say.
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
rather delightful.
Yes, we
And
needed that here in California.
you bet. No, it's finally things have cleared up quite a bit, so that's a good thing. Today, we are going to be talking about a shift into a newer area of the markets. It really looks to have legs, so we're going to share that with you, as well as share ways that you can capitalize on that move. And the title for today's show is Enjoy the Little Things. And this has everything to do with the explosive move this week into small cap stocks. And we've seen small caps rally, but this week's looks really quite compelling. So, Erin, I thought we'd just take a moment here in light of all of these big, heavy issues that are surrounding each and every one of us with certainly COVID-19, potential job security, and so on. And maybe just take a little brief minute here and talk about some of the small things, some of the delightful small things, maybe a kiss on the cheek, something of that nature that can really have a ripple effect. And
Absolutely. Yeah, hug. Hug always does that. And
mhm.
those looks from my dogs
Oh, there you go.
when
Yes.
they look at me like I'm just the best thing in the whole world.
That Elvis has entered the room.
Right, right.
Well, we're going to embrace today those smaller things known as stocks and get right into sharing our wisdom of the week. So, Erin, I'll let you go first.
Oh, certainly. So I have the second bullet. And one of the things that you may or may not know or notice is that when the small cap stocks get on board and start to do well, that bodes well for the rest of the market. It's, the large caps generally lead things, but the market doesn't get robust or healthy until you have everybody participating. So when you start to see those small caps moving, that's usually a really good sign for the market overall.
You're absolutely right. And I am in line with that. My wisdom of the week is that first bullet. And it alludes and talks about the fact that small cap stocks, no doubt, they can be riskier. They are less liquid. They are more prone to bouncing around, for lack of a better word, and also not quite as steady in their growth. So they can be riskier, but I will tell you the returns when they get going, and if you are able to capture that stock that is in a robust area of the markets, your returns can be quite a bit higher. And I know this, I have a couple of institutional funds that I still work with. One is a hedge fund, and they are small cap. They focus on small cap. So I've seen this over the years where they can have these tremendous winners. It's really an exciting area. Of course, you do need to have your risk profile in place and your systems, but kind of exciting to see this move into small cap stocks. So let's take a look at what we can view first, or this first segment area here. And we want to know why. Why are small caps outperforming now? And I think for me, and Erin, you may very well feel the same, when I see a particular industry group or an area or a market cap starting to do well, I want to know why, because I want to know, is that an area that has legs? For quite some time, it was those those mega stock FANGs, mega cap
Mhm.
FANG stocks, and all that had to do with their liquidity, their ability to withstand any potential sucker punches from the economy. So, Erin, I'm thinking maybe you're of the same mind.
Absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. And like I said, the market is starting to, break out a little bit more here. It's been in a consolidation, but now it looks like we're breaking out and seeing those small caps in the lead, I think, again, tells you that the market is getting healthy. And
You
so
bet.
to me, with the large caps, I think they've started to bring and reach a hand out, if you will, and carry them across that bridge. And now that everybody's participating, that typically is going to be good for the market.
That's a wonderful analogy. I like that. The hand
Mhm.
across the bridge. Well, I'm just going to start by sharing a quick view of a daily price chart of the Russell 2000. This, of course, is that small cap ETF. We can see this nice breakout. Small caps are up 5.3% for the week, and we're getting nice volume characteristics. So, Erin, I thought one way that we can potentially underscore or uncover why small caps now, certainly historically, they are the harbingers of a new when the economy is in a recovery phase, small cap stocks will tend to fare well coming out of that bear market. So what I was going to share with you here initially is a daily, that was a current view. What we're looking at here is taking us back to that '08 into '09 bear market, and this is IWM. And what we can see is a super nice recovery coming out of that bear market. I'm just going to very quickly show you another industry group during that same period, just as a comparison. This is healthcare. While healthcare did do well beyond that initial phase, IWM, these smaller cap stocks, were very sharp winners. They actually doubled within that first year, and then over 2 years, small cap stocks tripled. So big winners, and it's all about a recovering economy and these smaller companies benefiting from that. And then one other area that I thought we could take a look at is, what are the underlying components? When we talk about small cap companies, what are the sectors that are going to encompass? Generally, it's going to be 2 billion in market cap and below. So that's going to really draw in a certain audience, if you will. So this is a sector weighting of small cap IWM. And you can see quite quickly that healthcare is up here in the forefront. I will tell you, having followed this closely, it is a lot in the way of biotechs. There are 500 biotech stocks, and about 450 are small cap. So that's going to be biotech, but also a lot of innovative medical research as well. And then also financial services. Hopefully we'll have time, we can show you that financial stocks are faring well, and industrials. A lot of these smaller industrial companies are in here. So I think that was worth looking at, because then we can from here take a look at some of these areas that are currently doing well, such as healthcare. And I'll just take a quick look at IBB just for reference, and
Mhm.
then we're going to get to drill down a little bit further. But this is a daily price chart, and on the weekly, we'll see that biotech stocks are up over 5% as well this week. And then financial stocks, a big component of small caps. Let's take a look at KRE. This is the regional banking ETF for the S&P. Now, it's not the healthiest of charts, but it's up almost 8% this week. So I'm sharing with you three different very vibrant areas within small caps, and they're all up over 5%. So this is telling me that the move into these smaller caps very well may be sustainable. From here, we can go ahead and take a look at some of the biggest winners. And Erin, I don't know if you had any,
Oh,
I can give you a ticker symbol here.
sure. I'll give you, let me share my screen real
Oh,
quick.
right. Go right ahead. And you'll see among these are the big winners. For me, I did it over the last week, because this move into small caps is over the last week. And you will definitely see a theme among these big winning stocks over the last week in that small cap space. And you will see, of course, a number of biotechnology stocks. And oftentimes they're not going to have those earnings. So you can play that IBB, that ETF, if you're inclined,
Mhm.
or drill down.
So here's just a quick peek, and you can see that even over the past month, IWM, the Russell 2000, has actually been one of the big gainers underneath utilities, which I think is really interesting, the utility index. But, and you can see 400, we're not talking small, mid caps, but clearly there's definitely a trend going in this direction. And there are certainly different spaces. I know, we were looking at consumer discretionary was one of the spaces I know that you showed that is big. Let me get to the right chart here. I'm just going to look at some of those sector charts with some extra indicators on the bottom. So we talked healthcare. And again, yes, you can see the breakout just like we're getting in the market now. And you can see all of the increase in participation. All these stocks have their prices above their 20 or their 50. And that's some really great percentages going in there for healthcare. And then you were talking, excuse me, financials. But one of the other places too I've noticed is in discretionary. Consumer discretionary. But here you go, nice little breakout here for the financials. We haven't had a break from the consolidation just yet, but certainly losing that short-term declining trend was definitely good. You can see momentum is picking up. You can see lots of participation here in the financials. So it's certainly a good place to look. And, some of the easier ways to do it, there's plenty of ways to do it here on StockCharts, but I think we'll probably get to that part later. But I have to say, yes, these are the sectors that I definitely am looking at. But one of the small caps, I'm just going to have to show you, it's in energy, which, has not been the most robust. But I can tell you, when you look at the ETF, you can see that we are finally starting to get a little bit of a bottom here and possibly reverse head and shoulders. I don't know, but we're starting to see some pickup. But really, most of that is in the renewable energy space, which I think has plenty of choices for small cap stocks. And I really am liking this particular area of the market as far as finding some of those smaller caps. And,
yeah, you bet. And in fact, a lot of that more recent movement is going to be a bit political as it relates to the election, the upcoming, and apparently in the polls, Biden is ahead of Trump, and he has Biden has a $2 trillion clean energy bill that he's looking to put through should he come into the presidency, and that is going to truly boost these stocks even higher. But these solar stocks have been on the move for some time, and a lot of it has to do with Warren Buffett. At the beginning of this year, he initiated the largest U.S. solar project. He announced that in January, and that was approved in May. And he just announced this week that he's ready to invest another $15 billion into this solar and alternative energy space. It's all about the Paris Climate Change Summit and an announcement that he made there. So this area is really moving. I'm going to go ahead and share a couple of, I ran a screen for this week to see what the biggest performers were within this small cap space, and you will see a theme. I just want to make sure I can get over here to a current chart, and let's take a look. One of the top performers is Bloom Energy, and I'm going to see if I can pull this chart up a little bit bigger. It's pulling back a bit today, but let's take a look at that weekly, and you'll see it's up 28% for the week. This is an alternative energy. They use hydrogen cells. The stock is breaking out of this nice base. So despite a 28% advance, take a look at this volume this week that is telling you that institutions want in. It's under accumulation. Another stock that's in this area that I actually own is Plug, PLUG, another alternative energy. So there's certainly one theme that is taking place, and you can see this nice breakout. Again, you want to see that volume. That's telling you that it's under accumulation, a lot of constructive as far as potential further upside for those alternative energy. And then one other area we can look at among these big performers this week that's going to point you toward a theme, if you will. Actually, this is MYOK, but I certainly have another name that I can share with you that is up quite a bit this week. Smaller cap, this is QDEL in healthcare, and they provide, they're on the fast track to provide a 5-minute in your doctor's office COVID test. And we can see it's up 16% for the week. So a lot of these smaller cap healthcare, whether it's COVID related or otherwise, are seeing real traction. So that's helpful if you want to get in front of those particular areas. And then, of course, as we move on further in the show, we're going to share with you how you can use stock charts. And that's where we're going to broaden out and show you other themes and how you can get in front of some of these smaller caps rather than those that have already had these explosive moves. That's going to point you toward where the strength is. From here, further in, we are going to share with you how you can get perhaps fresher stocks in that small cap space. So what we can do from here is just take a very brief break. And when we get back, we're going to share some other views of small cap and how you can get in front of those stocks. And we are back. And what we're going to do now, Erin and I are going to share with you some of the small cap. There certainly are a lot in the way of styles. You can look at small cap dividends, global, small cap fundamental. But I will say that in particular, that global is not looking particularly enticing. So we're going to share with you a quick peek at small cap growth versus small cap value. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is share with you a quick view, and then from there, Erin and I are going to share some stocks that are within these ETFs so that you can surmise and get a better feel of what may work for you. So it's a little bit difficult to see, but this first one, Vanguard Small Cap VBR, that's value, so that's going to be in red. The blue is the Vanguard Small Cap Growth, that's in blue, and then the Russell 2000 is the orange. And what we're keying in on here is this recent move that we've been experiencing here. And I think it's pretty clear that the growth side is really the place to be. And so from my work with William O'Neill and Company, I'm always on the prowl for those growth stocks. And we did have a lot of the top performing growth, small cap growth fund managers were clients. So my work is very attributable to this, but more importantly, the performance. Take a look at this huge outperformance here between value and growth versus that generalized IWM, which is the Russell 2000. So growth seems to be the place to be, but that doesn't mean we can't take a look. Erin, I think you have a couple of value small cap stocks that we can maybe take a quick peek at.
Yeah, mid to small. Here's our first one, Peloton. I think this has been one of the, it's funny to think of it as more of a value stock, really. But you've got such a great move here on Peloton, and it's continuing up. And really, even when the market was struggling and the NASDAQ, we really didn't see much in the way of damage done here. The only thing that you could worry about maybe would be the fact that we are really overbought and similarly, when we have that happen, you usually are going to have a little bit of a pullback. But honestly, with this one, a pullback could be a really great opportunity. So I do like Peloton for sure in that space. And PKI, let's see, this was another one that you actually gave me as well.
Yeah, these are both the top, you're sharing, I believe, the top holdings in that value fund. And
yes.
Again, I agree that Peloton, a value. Okay.
I know, right? Here's a medical supply company, and we were talking about the new move to the upside in healthcare. And again, you can see that in the last month, we've really started to see some growth here. This is a large cap, but it is one of those top holdings. And, it's starting to consolidate a little bit here, but the momentum is still strong. You're still looking at a positive RSI. Basically, you want that RSI to be above that 50. That tells you there's strength right there. And we're starting to see that continue into October. So it's another interesting one. And then, of course, the other big holding you mentioned was IEX. The industrials, I have to say, that has been one of my pet areas lately. I really like a lot of those stocks in there. Plenty of opportunities. Look at the nice breakout on this one for industrial machinery. And you can see the breakout. You can see a double bottom here. You've got momentum is just giving you a buy signal with that black line crossing over the red. And again, you're still looking at a lot of strength here with that RSI being in that positive territory.
Very good. Yeah, I'm just going to very quickly share a couple because we don't want to miss out on sharing with you how to use StockCharts.com. This is on that growth fund, the Vanguard Small Cap Growth, just a couple of their bigger holdings, CTLT. This is a medical research similar to PKI that Erin just shared with us. So you can see I talk about smaller volume characteristics in these smaller stocks, but this is actually 15 billion. So I think we need to check on those, someone check those ETFs for their wording because
I know, seriously.
Gosh, but CTLT is breaking out of this nice base RSI and MACD positive territory. So very constructive looking there. One last name, and then we'll move on to how to use stock charts. HZNP, another healthcare. We talked about that being a big weighting. It's in a very confirmed uptrend here, just gently trending higher RSI and MACD in positive territory. So Erin, I'm going to let you go ahead and start. And I have one way as well that I've found to be very powerful as a way to get in front of small cap stocks that are potential candidates.
Absolutely. So one of the things you can use here to do these scans, if you will, because you're basically putting on your binoculars and scanning to see what's out there. StockCharts does the work for you to start off here. So we have these predefined scans. And there's bullish ones and bearish ones. Well, obviously, I want to concentrate on the bullish ones. So new 52-week highs was one that I was taking a peek at. Now, when you click on that, you end up with 447. And how am I going to find those small caps? Well, you can just scan basically on those small caps. If you want to also look at the sector that they're in, let's see if I can get this. There we go, small. So you can see the sectors we're looking at are discretionary, which is one of the hot spots right now in the small caps, financials, which we mentioned earlier, and look at all of these healthcare choices. And then industrials, which is my pet area right now. I like the truckers. I really like the building materials right now. And you can see some great opportunity just to find them very simply by going to those predefined scans right here. Predefined scans, click on the one you want, and then you can just do a sort to find those small caps in there.
Very good. Yeah, and I do like that scooter. So you want to pay attention to that stock charts technical rating. Shall I go ahead and share a quick?
Yes, go right ahead, and then I'll share my my small cap winners right now that I want to
Mhm.
talk about.
And very quickly, I did want to touch on seasonality. This is another
Yes.
StockCharts tool that you can use. I want to see IWM, the percentage of months in which it closed higher than it opened, going past over the past 5 years. And I know this from history. November is a spectacular month for small caps. So no better time than now to start screening for those stocks. And I'm just going to share one last screen, and then we do, and Erin, you can do this. So let's go ahead over to our, okay, I lost that seasonality, but it is November that it's 100% of the time over the last 5 years that it closed the month ahead of that, uh, the, ahead of the open. Scooter reports very quickly from here. You can then ask StockCharts technical rating. I want to see small caps. It's going to sort the highest performers. Again, as Erin said, a lot of discretionary smaller retailers, Tupperware we talked about last week. But then from here, I'm going to want to drill down because a lot of these stocks are up and out. So you can just hover over this and take a look at some of these names that might be a little bit newer in their advance. Erin, and this is another COVID-19 tester, FLDM small cap. If you want to share, and then we can.
All right. My small cap that I just gave to my subscribers of the Decision Point Diamonds is Lumber Liquidators. I love this chart. I think it's doing great. You've got this nice double bottom, we call them, the W. Once you get the price to break above the center of that W, the expectation is that you're going to get a move the height of this pattern. And we're already on our way. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't be able to test those highs back from August. Lumber Liquidator, I already showed you SPWR, but these are my big ones right now. So
All right.
let's see, that's not, Hog is too much of a large cap, but I have a couple others that I like. But that's the main one, Lumber Liquidators. And
Very
again,
good.
I do this on my website. I give you those picks in these diamond reports. So decisionpoint.com, just check it out.
All righty. And I think we have time for our last segment here. It's called Yeah, That Happened. And it's a very interesting item, headline from the US, where an Airbnb host is offering guests the chance to be the mayor of hell for a day. And a little play on words there. Hell is a town in Michigan. She's been authorized to allow her guest to be the mayor for the day. If you go ahead and look up the headline, you'll see a lovely photo of her incredible backyard. It's all done up for Halloween. And I'll go ahead and share one stock that is in line with this Halloween theme and being the mayor of hell. And I'm really surprised. This is Party City, PCTY, and take a look. Halloween apparently is on for some people, and whether they put masks on underneath their mask, but we can see that this broke out of this nice base and is continuing its move. Erin, I don't know if you want to take a look at HLT Hilton.
Oh, you go ahead.
Okay, yeah, and that's one of the few hotel stocks. I'm thinking of Hotel Bates, and being
I was
an
going to say, I
Airbnb.
know a lot of people that I could call the mayor of hell. I really do.
They wouldn't need to go to Michigan.
They don't need to go
right?
there.
So Hilton trying to break out of a base. It's been a tough area for hotels, but I'm just going to end this segment with a quick look at one of the better home builders. This is MI Homes. This is one of the stocks from my MEM Edge list. We can see it's poised to break out of this base. Explosive sales in new and existing home sales. So very vibrant area. So we're going to leave it at that. Everyone,
Yes.
have a great week and stay on top of those small cap stocks.
Absolutely. Happy trading.
Hey, Grayson Rose here with StockCharts. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, consider giving it a like down below, maybe leave us a comment, and if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe at the link up above. We're gonna bring you daily content from an incredible collection of technical analysts and financial experts.